reason you're watching this video, and the only reason I'm filming this video is for you to find out how does having no boundaries influence your life. So what is a boundary? Most people might say, oh, it's a thing that sensitive people or rude people said to just get the people away from them. Come on, it's 2024. Let's break this stereotype and have healthy boundaries. Because of this stereotype, most of us don't have healthy boundaries. Most of us have a healthy boundary. There's a big chance you sitting, watching, have a healthy boundary. I had too. Not everyone's perfect. But today I'm not going to explain how to set boundary. That's another video. Today I'm going to explain how does it influence your life. So let's get into it. Let's first of all understand the difference between a wall and a boundary. Metaphorical wall, of course. The definition I like the most, it says, boundaries are expectations and needs that help you feel safe and comfortable in your relationships. Expectations in relationships help you stay mentally and emotionally well. Learning when to say no and when to say yes is also an essential part of feeling comfortable when interacting with others. Also like the quote by Mark Rose. He says, walls keep everybody out. Boundaries show you where the door is. Walls basically keep everybody out. Boundaries keep unhealthy people away. Do you want unhealthy people in your life? I hope not. Walls, they're built upon a fear, and boundaries built upon a courage. Walls, of course, lead to isolation, and boundaries just keep you safe. Walls is a sign of unresolved past wounds, whereas boundaries is a sign of awareness, of self-respect. Walls make you a victim of your past, and boundaries deepen healthy relationships. Boundary basically is a key to others how to treat you and how not to treat you. So what happens when we don't set boundaries? When we, people please everyone, when we cannot say no to people, because saying no to something is a boundary too. For example, someone asks you for, can you finish this project for me? And no, I don't simply have time. I don't. And that is a boundary. Saying no is a boundary. And most people are uncomfortable saying no. They think that's selfish to set boundary. It's selfish. They're afraid what people think. What will people think if they say no? If all their life they said yes. And setting boundary is a type of self-care. And when you don't do that self-care, when you do not set boundaries, the first thing that happens is we start neglecting our own needs and put needs of everyone else first. Doesn't matter if that's just a stranger or a family member or a friend that you knew for a long time. We just neglect our own boundaries. We forget to, we sleep less, we forget to, go to the gym, or we simply don't have time because we're taking upon so many responsibilities from others and we're helping so many people, and we cannot truly find time for them, for ourselves. And our stress level increases and we become more overwhelmed because of the things we need to do. Because when you do not say no to people, you have more things to do in your day. Because for example, someone asks you to can you help me finish this project? Can you go volunteer with me? Or can you go do that? And your to-do list becomes 2 times more. And of course you're gonna be stressed because how can I achieve everything? You can't. And overwhelmed because there are so many things, and that person is prioritizing something they promised to other people because it's more important to them, the promise they made to other people, and help them rather than themselves. So they could have oh, I'm gonna help you with this project and then I'm gonna go and get sufficient amount of sleep, which is not how it works. Because if you, for example, in an airport, they say that you need to put on your oxygen mask first and then help someone else. Because if you don't put your own oxygen mask first, if you're not gonna help yourself first, you're gonna run out of air and you're gonna suffocate without any oxygen, and you won't be able to help someone else. So in order to help someone else, even if you want to help that person, you have to meet your needs first. You have to love yourself, take care of yourself first, and then you can help someone else. Because if you don't help yourself, you don't really have anything to give anyone else. So the next one is progressive burnout. Again, no wonder, because of the stress, overwhelming, a lot of things to do. Burnout happens because, in this case, it happens because we're having too much things too many things on our to-do list, and we burn out because we cannot say no to anyone, which leads us to the next one, is resentment to others or ourselves. When someone asks you to do something, you feel resentment because you don't want to do that, but again, you cannot say no, so you feel resentment towards yourself also. So you feel resentment to someone else, to yourself, and you feel angry, resentment. You can start avoiding people also. You start avoiding people because you know you're gonna say yes to anything, so you start avoiding them, avoiding their phone calls, avoiding them in person, avoiding the texts. Over time, you start losing your identity, which sounds very scary because you start prioritizing the needs, expectations, values of others. So you basically lose your own identity and you just become help it all. I'll help it all. I help everyone. Not myself. I don't know myself. I don't have values. I need everyone to approve my values, my expectations. That's not okay. And of course, your life becomes to have no work-life balance if it actually had in the past, which it does. Because an ability of saying no means that you're biting more than you can chew in every aspect of your life, especially work life, of course. And then your physical health suffers. Your mental health already suffered because of the burnout. It could lead you into depression even. Physical health goes below anything possible because you don't simply have time to eat healthy. You don't go to the gym because again, you don't have time to do that. You're not taking care of yourself. So of course your physical, emotional, mental health is going to suffer. Any aspect of your health is going to suffer because you don't have time for that, because you're, I don't know, living in some kind of universe where there are 24 hours, and out of those 24 hours, 20 hours you work for yourself and for other people, mostly for other people, and 4 hours of sleep. That's not enough. No. The next one is crisis point, where you can experience mental breakdown, emotional breakdown, mental break, and the result of this all, you have no time. You have no physical health. Every aspect of your health suffers. You have multiple breakdowns throughout the day, and it worsens your ability to set boundaries in the future, which is why you have to take this hard step and start setting boundaries. So why aren't we setting boundaries if absence of them makes our life so miserable? First, we think that people will think we're selfish because of prioritizing our own needs. But selfishness is about expecting people to do what we want. And boundaries is about telling people what we do not tolerate. It's two completely different things. If we grow up in an environment without healthy boundaries, then of course it's going to be harder for us to set them. Even an 8-year-old can set a boundary, and people have to respect that, but people do not know that. And because of that, when we grow up, we neglect ourselves, we neglect our boundaries. We think, oh, we want too much. We want too much. That is too much. I'm selfish to ask that. I'm selfish to ask that person not to shout at me when we're in an argument. I'm selfish for telling that person that I feel bad, that his jokes make me feel bad because, oh, well, they just jokes. Don't be that serious, you know? We think that, but our feelings are valid. We don't have to experience something uncomfortable. Someone's jokes make us uncomfortable. Tell that person to stop doing that, but we're afraid that people will think they're selfish, that we're too much, that they start laughing. And what brings us to the second one, why we are, because we're afraid what people think. Especially with people we know for a long time. This drastic change is gonna scare them. They could become angry, frustrated, they can be in denial, then they can give you silence treatment, they can be like kids. For example, you had an ex and you broke up with them multiple times and you said to him, no, we're not gonna get back together. And then you did a lot of times. And then you just set boundary and you're like, no, this is the final time. I'm not gonna get back together with you. And he or she is like a kid. Kids do that. When you say to them, you cannot do that, just it's not allowed. They try to do that. They still do that because they want to see how serious are you about that boundary. And most of the time we break it, and so people don't take it seriously. So it's really good idea when you start any new relationship, any new friendship, just set boundary. Just say, this is what I'm comfortable with, this is what I'm not comfortable with, just from the start, right off the bat. And the next one, why we're afraid to set boundaries, is because we think we will lose people. But the thing is, you will not lose the right people. Because the people that become angry and frustrated when you tell them your boundaries is the people who wanted to cross them in the first place. Do you really want those kind of people around you? There's so much fish in the sea. You know, you're gonna find your person who's not gonna disturb your boundaries and gonna respect them. Because it takes a lot of maturity to respect someone's boundaries. You don't have to like someone's boundaries. You don't have to agree with them, but you do have to respect them. Not many people are mature and tolerant to others. We just try to change someone's belief because they're not our own and like, oh, my belief is better. So I hope this video convinced you to start setting boundaries. You can take it step by step and improve your life, improve your self-care, improve your self-love to yourself, because by setting boundaries, you show love to yourself. And that's amazing. Okay, bye. I love you and have a nice, wonderful day. You're amazing. I'm proud of you. Bye.